And hi, we are live. Hi, Dana.
We are live. Hi, Helena.
So, how are you doing there? Where are you at?
Awesome. So I'm in cozy little city apartment on a beautiful San Francisco day, and I see you are in your yard, which you know I absolutely love. That place is magic.
Yeah. So I have a foundation class coming up, which I don't do that often. And we're here on the Zoom live Facebook thing to talk about it because I'm super excited. Dan is hosting. It's going to be here in my house. My backyard will be available for whatever fun you want to have back here. And I don't know, Danna, you've been doing Access and you did foundation. I don't know, how many years ago did you take your first foundation?
I've been doing Access. I was trying to figure, I think it all goes out of your mind, like 7 years maybe. So I've done probably 3 or 4. I can't remember how many foundations I've done. I feel like I know why I couldn't remember, because I think I've been to 3 or 4, and then I think I facilitated 3 or 4 when I had my CF. And so when we started talking about this a few weeks ago, this is the magic of Access in general, is that I was like, oh my gosh, I would love to do a foundation. And then literally within a few days, we were talking, and you were like, hey, I'm going to do a foundation. Would you like to host my foundation? Yeah. And I was like, I get to do a foundation. I get to do it with Glenna, which is amazing because I haven't done a foundation with you.
Right. Oh, I don't teach them very often.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like it's special because I know you are so wrapped up and engaged, like traveling around the world doing, EMT and now Joy of Business and 3-Day Body and Conscious Parents, like you have so many of those that foundation's really once a year. And to do it at your house with that beautiful, just the house is so welcoming, and the yard is, how much I love the yard, and the view that adds so much to the day. It's so much more nurturing.
So your first foundation, because people may be interested in coming to the first one they've ever had, could be this one. Like, what's that? They just did. They say that they just Access is kind of doing a campaign and asking people that. I think. I mean, that's what I heard last time. But there is a video up that we just both watched, where Brendan Watt is talking about his first foundation, and I was just like, wow, going back to my first one, and how I was here, and then things just went, like, all these things that I thought could never possibly ever change. The next day were gone. One of them for me was an absolute phobia, total crazy fear of spiders that was as bad as it gets. And the next day I saw a spider and watched it walking and didn't scream or sweat or break out in, like goosebumps and want to run away. I just watched it and I was like, oh my God. And the weird thing is we never talked about fear directly. We cleared these things called distractor implants, but I never talked about my fear of spiders. I never thought I'd get over it. It was the most incredible thing. That was like this huge weird thing. But all these, like this ease of talking and being me. And anyway, what was your first foundation? What do you recall from it?
There's so many things. And some of them, like, you got it. You were like, oh, it just wasn't, there was no, like, no charge on it anymore. Like, you didn't freak out. You're just like, cool, hey, a spider, right? Whereas, like, a day or 2 days before, you would have been so freaked out. And I think sometimes we miss that, right? So to me, there's a gazillion times more change than we even, like, I'm still acknowledging change from whatever, 7 years ago, because you just, it creates so much, you miss it sometimes. Foundation for me. Okay, I was thinking about this earlier, and here's my analogy is like, you grow up in your parents' house. Like, let's say you grow up in your parents' house and then they leave you their house, and now you have their house. And foundation is like, you get to renovate and go, shit, I don't want any of this stuff. Like, right? Like all the thoughts and all the points of view and all the beliefs. It's like, you get to go around your house, your home, which I like your body and your being, and go, oh man, this stuff, like, this came with my parents, or it came with my culture or my religion. Like, we talk about all this society and this reality, and you get to actually look at it and go, this isn't me, and you get to change it and have tools to create something different. You get all of that new,
and they rewrite it every year, so it's the one right now is pretty fabulous. I went to the rewrite, which was, I don't remember when, like probably, I won't even say 6 months. It was this year though.
Yeah.
In the last year. And their stuff, it's always changing and adding new things that that create more of what you're talking about, this possibility to create a reality that works for you. So this is the foundation of how you do that, of how you create your life, everything around you, the things that bug you to start working for you. And we speak about how you go about it. I mean, there's so much cool stuff in it. And people can go to accessconsciousness.com and look up the foundation and get testimonials and find out more if they want more specifics about the class and more testimonials and stuff if people this is their first time being intrigued by it. And if you're just looking for another one, hey, San Rafael, California is a great place to spend a few days.
Yeah, every class, it is like Gary and Dane, you know, they rewrote it, and every class is so different, like the facilitator, and then everyone who comes to class, right, creates the class.
Yeah.
And so you go to class, you know, over and over and over again, and there's always going to be something more.
Over and over.
Really
I have done.
This is the first time. But this is the first time I was thinking about this earlier. This is I'm like going with not like, oh my God, I have problems to change. It's more like, oh, cool. Like I can create. And like this thing that we were talking about the other day, like having more ease with my ease. So it's, for me, I'm super excited because it seems to be way more about possibilities. And you can come with problems too. Like I've certainly come with like all these problems and found out otherwise. Will you talk about the energy part? Because I feel like that speaks to the problems that we think we have, or the wrongness that we
just need, there's just, yeah. Maybe I can come back.
No, I don't know if you or me. I'm like,
that was me. I apologize. I had to get closer to my internet. I was outside a little bit away from it. Now the sun's just there. There's a kind of less sunny spot. Yeah, we were both, I think, talking about you have problems. You think you have problems, and you actually
talking about energy.
Yeah. You don't really have problems, the problems you think you have, and you just have a possibility of creating something greater. And I did my first Access class, my first foundation 14 years ago, maybe almost 15. And I quickly became a facilitator, started teaching them, went to everyone I could before then. I used to teach them quite often, and like you said, I'm busy, and I get so excited when I get, this possibility to teach the foundation class again. So I get to see you, and I'm leaving actually for Australia in a few hours to go do a body class, and then come back, and I'm going to teach this. So I'm anyone who's interested, you can find out more. accessconsciousness.com/Dr. Glenna Rice. And anything else you want to add? Facebook. Yep, Dr. Glenna Rice.
I do, because I've done a few classes with you this year, which I'm very thrilled about and grateful for. 3-Day Body, Joy of Business. And I mean, thousands of people know you. And so this isn't a surprise to, I think, anyone, but there might be some new people out there. Like being facilitated by you. It's that space of knowing that someone has your back, because I know Glenn just said, there are no problems, and you get to that. But before you get to that, there's, sometimes there's a lot of crap that comes up, and it's not comfortable, and it can be really uncomfortable and all these other things, and you are so in it, and you do feel like you have a problem. Like I've certainly been there. And so having you facilitate with this, just so much awareness and kindness makes such a difference when you're attempting to be present with things. Like that's so important. Like some of this stuff is, like it's, for all of us, like it's vulnerable and it's personal, and yet, to be able to bring it up in a class it's just priceless.
That is, thank you for that. And, I've had wonderful facilitators, and that is, really thank you. That kindness is so valuable when you're changing your stuff, because sometimes we have so many barriers up to looking at what we can change, or even seeing it at all, even having a clue about it. And that kindness from facilitators can really allow you to just break down those things and look at stuff that usually isn't a big deal, but we think it's a big deal. So thank you. I'm excited. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. Thrilled for this, like a summer class, and especially in your yard. Well, not in your yard, but in your home.
We're good.
Access to your yard.
We have options. We could do it outside.
Yeah, we do.
Probably not, but
yeah, everyone knows, like, I love San Francisco and I love Marin, so I'm just stoked to be, hosting a class like local and having it be in like such a yummy, beautiful place, and to have you facilitating us on the new foundation.
Yep, me too. Yep, I got to go to the airport soon, so we got to get off this, and I will see you very soon. Thanks.
Bye, everyone. Bye, Glenna.
Bye.